Hello and welcome to today's stream. Once again, we will be playing Project Zomboid. I did start the stream a little bit earlier than usual, but that is because I have plans later today. So I'm starting earlier so we could still get the correct amount of time in. So without further ado, now that I've fixed, well, the audio looping over itself. I hate when that happens. My Alexa just told me the time with no prompt. But I don't know why that happens. It just randomly tells you the time. Sometimes it goes days or even weeks without it happening, and then it just randomly says it. Could be the middle of the night, and it could just randomly say the time. I don't understand why. But anyway, that isn't the point. The point is, we are going to start the stream now. And we're going to Muldraugh, or Muldraugh, whatever you prefer. Just pretend I said it correctly, or the way you prefer. But yeah, I like the cat eyes perk because it's really helpful, honestly, and fast learner. I will not go without fast learner because I do have ADHD and I don't go well with taking forever to achieve something. Because it's really boring when I have to spend 5 extra hours to figure out it. But anyway, today's character is going to be Jeff Pilled. Instead of Red Pilled, it's Jeff Pilled. Anyway, we have our character, Jeff Pilled instead of Red Pilled, because it's funnier that way. You know, that is horrible. Sure, we'll do this. Good enough. The guy looks weird, which is perfect for a weird name. And honestly, I think this will work. That is correct. There is no hope of survival. And I will die eventually. It is inevitable. I'm simultaneously very good at this game, but too impatient to survive for all that long. Which is actually just completely my fault. Yeah, so let's hop into it and see if I can, keep myself from failing too quickly. Is that a TV? No. No. I need the nearest TV. I don't care. We need the cook show. Let me in. The zomboids can break in. I don't care. Whew. Huh. You know what? What does this give us? I learned how to make a shiv. You know, you could have come in through the window, sir. But I respect your choice to go through the door. What in the name of unholy zomboid is this? Ooh, we leveled up in cooking. Doesn't matter. Soup fixes everything. As the show says, the soup will fix everything. Soup always fixes everything in this game. Unless you're infected. Because then you're just screwed anyway and it doesn't matter. Which you should know if you've ever played this game. Can't read the note. I don't even know what it could say on there. It could say something like there's a safe house or something. But no, we're just gonna ignore it and pretend that there's nothing important on there. Oh, we're actually literally right next to that motel. Hey, you. Yeah, you. I don't want you to be, existing here because you're in my personal space and I don't think that is very cool of you. So I'm going to make you cease existing now. Wait, is that cash? Well, I don't want that, but give me the wallet. You suck. I'll take the screwdriver. And the key. Huh. I'm not sure how that worked. No, not doing this again. Why? How did you even get up? That's unfair. Well, I mean, that was also unfair when whatever. That evened it out. We'll call it even now. I did just... I did not mean to favor that. Yeah, but we gotta favorite that. Incredible. Research. Yeah, let's research. I mean, we have time. There's only like a zomboid on their way to us. We can take him. If we can't take him, that's more of an us problem, to be honest. This can be our base of operations for now. Let me in so I can open all the dang windows. Because the more windows that are open... Son of a... Son of the nearest Applebee's location to this place. Oh. 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 Yeah, now we can't be spotted here. How lovely. We'll just wait it out, alright? Bit of a mistake, but... nothing we can't, wait out, hopefully. We will win with Jeff Pilled. Being Jeff Pilled makes you and the power, we have the power of the Bible as well. Not sure if that will really help us all that much, but at this point, it's worth a try. You son of a moron! Woo-wee. This room is nice. This room is actually quite nice. Okay. Dang, we're on the upper level. Now we have to go down. I can take him. They're too spread out to pose too much of a threat. At least for now. Alright, one down. Just gotta take him down bit by bit. Zomboid by zomboid, as I once said. Come on. You'll fall eventually. They always do. Moron. Who's next? Imagine not being Jeff killed. Couldn't be me. Okay, come on, that's not fair. I thought we were supposed to be playing even, you suckers. At the door. And a key? Okay, so we may not have gotten keys, but we got something better. Way better. Now we just gotta survive. If we can find our way out of Muldraugh, we still win. The generator skill book is just too OP to... It's too OP. Come here. You moron, you can't beat a Jeff killed Jeff. Wow, we're actually winning this fight. What? That was impressive, actually. Well, we appear to have won that fight. Quite effectively. But of course, there's another fight almost immediately. Though, we're probably gonna win this one, considering there's... It's a... Well, it may be a 2v1, but the second one of them falls down, it's then a 1v1. For at least the time that the other one is down, which still works. Player character's too OP, all I have to say. They are zomboids after all, so obviously a fully functioning humanoid would, well, fare better than a zomboid in a fight against another humanoid. Okay, so the vehicle key is indeed in there. We'll check the gas level after, but for now, I do need to fight off the nearby threats so that I can have access to this vehicle and get out of here. Or at least start loading this sucker up. Because we can start getting some supplies in there. No. Dang it. Yeah, of course. Well... Well, dang. We only made it a few steps. That was anticlimactic. Yeah, but that's what I mean by... Hitboxes are a bit weird in this game. Hitboxes are really weird in this game sometimes. Really difficult to, sometimes understand where the zomboid really is. Which is mighty unfortunate. Anyway, that's what we were doing. Yeah, there we go. Let's do his brother, John. No, that's not how you spell John. Let's do John Pilled. His hairstyle is on the opposite side. That's what makes him different. Jeff and John with the last name. Same last name. That's how creative I am. Wow, I'm so creative. Grab. Well, I mean, an umbrella can be our weapon. Sure. It's probably not the best weapon, but, I mean, a weapon is a weapon. Oh boy. Yeah, we don't have the key in there. Maybe the key's inside this house. I mean, yep, yes. It is? It actually was. Okay. Well... that does make things a bit easier for us. Sure. Hello? The lock is broken for our trunk. Really? At least we can access our trunk this way. Yes. Unfortunately, we did indeed. Of course the lock is yeah, well, we have a car, even though we just started, but we're gonna need to find some gas. Could be a worse start, could be a better start. Could start with a TV. Not sure who that mailbox belongs to, but whatever. Hey, you. Dang. Let's go. Okay, umbrella isn't actually the worst weapon. Holy! Dang! Umbrella! Let's go! Wow! Umbrella does actually a decent amount of damage. Who would have thought? Well, whatever. I mean, I'll take it. If it works, it works. I'm going to find a way into this. I need something. Meh. It'll be fine. It's not like there's a house alarm going off or something. Whatever, we'll just head to the next house. I was hoping we could find something quick enough, but yeah, no. Next house it is. Alright. Umbrella moment. No wonder why they had bosses for Umbrella, like, weapon back in the day. Holy cow! Oh yeah, house alarms happen. If you're on a higher difficulty, they happen more often. But yeah, as you can hear, it goes quite far, the sound. So yeah, about everybody in the entire neighborhood nearby hears it. Every single zomboid. And I mean every single zomboid. You have to wait for them to come around that corner because I hate corners in this game. Since the walls are like paper thin. It's horrible. Dude, it works so bad. So there's a chance that you just randomly get clipped by a zomboid that you can't even see. Get in here. Stop making noises. Just... Oh. What book is that? Oh. It's a menu. Like a restaurant? Whatever. But yeah, this game can be evil sometimes. It does love to make things difficult. Box of nails. Not bad. More nails. If only we had a hammer. Or a crowbar. Alright, alright, alright. Okay. That is something I can work with, though. And since it is the apocalypse, nobody's gonna be able to judge me for eating an entire tub of ice cream. Which is great, in my opinion. Bad about everything else, though. Yeah, 1 or 2 zomboids. Not too bad. Unless there's more zomboids nearby. Then it's a bit more concerning, because they do end up making sound. Yeah, bags are annoyingly rare sometimes. But if you get lucky, you might find one. Gotta take that empty can because you might be able to fill it up with water. Alright, let's get rid of these suckers. I want to go over to whoever lives over there. I need supplies, and I need some gas. Wow, somebody made a wooden stake just to immediately use it immediately. No. No, you don't. Don't do that. What's that on the ground? What? Alright, so that's nothing, apparently. I guess it's just a misplaced model. Yeah, you can carry extra stuff in them. Anything that you can put other stuff in them, technically reduces carry weight. But some are way better than others. Like backpacks. Or bags. Because it goes miscellaneous bags. And then backpacks. Or stuff that you can equip to yourself. Though some in the category do better than other ones. Like hiking backpacks, because hiking backpacks, obviously, you have to carry a lot of stuff in hiking. Oh yeah, they have random events where random events, quote-unquote, happen, and it can be sound effects. But yeah, it causes zomboid hordes to move around and stuff. So, it usually causes zomboids to move around, so if it's close to you, that sound, then zomboids will go towards the direction of it. So if you're in the path of the sound, a wave of zomboids could, just one time eventually just horde your base for no reason. So you do have to be careful of that. House in a bus. From what it sounds like, that's probably a mod if I had to guess, because usually you can't build in vehicles. But yeah, if they did add that, that would be cool. It would be pretty cool though. Book, yada yada yada, a scythe. Interesting. Oh? Okay, drop the scythe. No military NPCs. No, not yet. Not yet. They will be introducing NPCs sometime, but I think it's better to just let the devs do their thing. Because always bugging devs is not really a good thing, as, well, you stress them out. If you stress anybody out, they're not gonna enjoy doing it. Because if you had a boss bugging you about stuff, or thousands of people asking you to do something you enjoy, it's gonna be a lot more stressful than it would be normally. Oh boy. Yo, wait, what is that? Oh, it's a cruddy backpack. Yeah, I'm not gonna risk this run for a stupid backpack that can't hold as much weight as other bags. Well, time to head out. I wonder how far I can just walk. If I keep walking, I am bound to lose them eventually. Probably. Yeah, just let them do their thing. They'll do it when they'll get to it when they get to it. They said they were gonna do it. They're gonna do it. Bugging them will not get it done quicker. It never works. How far I'm into the run? Well, the first few in-game hours in, yeah. Not really in the run. That's a bulletproof vest. Give. I have like 5 seconds. Ma'am, give me the vest. Give me the vest right now. Also, I want the holster. Alright, now we gotta get out of here. Because the zomboids will catch on pretty quickly that we're, Day 2? No, it's day 1. I started at 8 a.m. in-game, so... Yeah, it's only been about 6 in-game hours? Almost 7 now? So yeah, it's pretty quick. I did get a crowbar pretty early on, so that was good. Thankfully. God, I love crowbars in this game. Crowbars may not do as much damage as an axe, but they do have higher durability than an axe. It really depends on what you're doing, because if you're fighting... If you fight a small amount of zomboids at a time, instead of bigger hordes, then it's better to go with a crowbar. But otherwise, it's not as good. I gotta drop the nails. No! No! I'm confused! Let me out! Yeah, no, it's over. Yeah, but sometimes you can't. Sometimes the movement is kind of annoying. Because the problem is each action you do goes in an order. So if you're walking and there's a zomboid behind you, it has an entire animation where you go a specific amount of distance and you can't cancel it. They don't have animation canceling or transition and stuff, so... No, you can definitely move furniture. Furniture moving is actually a good play. But first, what you want to do is, since you can fortify windows and doors, what I do recommend is I recommend boarding the outside part of the window first, leaving the window open if possible, and then fortify the other side. And then you can put furniture in front of it, because it does make them have to go farther to jump in, which makes it easier to get ready to push them over, because their crawling animation takes longer. Huh. Let me think. Fred Pan Man. You could be sure. Chris. Short. Good enough. Good enough. Right back into it. Yeah, the fence tip is incredible. Fences are absolutely incredible. God, I love fences. Without fences in this game, if fences were not up everywhere, you'd be done. But yeah. If I was playing with sprinters, it would be way, way slower paced, because the problem is I would have to clear zomboids out one zomboid at a time. I'd have to lure a single zomboid away at a time. And if 2 zomboids or more noticed me, the run would be over then. Which wouldn't be fun to watch. And it would also be suffering for me, too. So, it's just easier to play fast-paced, just go as quick as possible until we get a good run. Where I don't mess up. You spawn back in the same map. It's always the same map, but cars are randomized, so is loot. And each location has different areas that you can spawn in. So you can spawn in a range of different locations, and vehicles spawn with different items. All the items for everything are randomized. Except very, very specific things. But other than that, almost everything's randomized when it comes to items. Yo! Hold on. Chickens? I have chickens? This is our base. Okay, so this is our base now. Because we have chickens, right? This will provide food for, this will basically allow the food we have to last longer. Find the loot you dropped? It depends, because you drop some loot when you die. But not all of the loot. Or your conversions to Z's, well, you usually just want to look for giant hordes of zomboids and hope for the best, honestly. That's all you can do. Because zomboids can roam. Some zomboids move quicker than others. Zomboid movement speed is completely random depending on the zomboid. But depending on if you have sprinters or not in the zomboid speeds, there's basically a range of speed zomboids have. Crawlers have specified speeds, so do upward zombies, all that. But depending on the speed that you set it to, the range gets adjusted either up, so they're faster, or down, so they're slower. But some zomboids move faster and slower than others, and some notice things quicker as well. Because, well, obviously, different zomboids will do different things because, well, everybody's different. And it does make sense, because if you exercised a lot and then you got turned into a zomboid, and you were like, I don't know, somebody like Usain Bolt or something, obviously the zomboid would end up moving quicker. And then there's always the couch potatoes. I am in Muldraugh, right? Yeah, that looks like Muldraugh. Alright, yeah, I think I'm in Muldraugh. But yeah, you can go back to the spot where you died, look around, see if there's any hordes. Because hordes will attract zomboids, and so will other sounds. So if there's a big location nearby, or a location you saw a lot of zomboids nearby before you died, you can always head back there. The reason I play permadeath is because in other games like Minecraft, when death isn't as much of a concern, I tend to find myself running back over and over and over recklessly, not caring about, well, if I, well, die again or not, because the entire risk gets taken away when you can just spawn back into the town. If you put a house, I don't know, in the middle of the average spawns of the zomboids, you can just keep running back and picking up all your stuff. And it makes it way too easy, and it takes all the inherent risk and excitement out of it, because you're no longer really anxious and trying to be careful as if you were really trying to survive. Everything just becomes, I'm going to keep running in until I get the item I want, and then go back out. And you can even take off all your items off your character before you do so. And then it's just not quite as fun, because the entire sense of excitement and risk is kind of just... I don't think that's supposed to be like that. Anyway, as I was saying, it just kind of... It's a lot more entertaining if you really permadeath. Stakes are higher, yes, which really allows you to get into the role-playing more, and it doesn't feel... It feels more fun and more challenging, because if there's no stakes, well, you're basically playing the game for fun, and it's not quite as challenging, but it can get boring a lot quicker, because obviously if you just succeed every time because you don't have to worry about dying, it just feels too easy sometimes once you get good enough. These houses are lovely. Yeah, honestly, these are high-quality houses that I'm in currently. I'm in the rich person district with Richie McRichpants. So, yeah. I spawned here randomly, and this is great. That's fine. Food is good. Food is love, food is life. I'm going to just loot this house for what I can find and then continue on. Won't be that long because, unfortunately, I'm not very good at being patient. So instead of just taking things slow and careful, I will rush too quick. But yeah, that's how I play it, because, well, it's more entertaining to watch on stream if I'm always in dangerous situations, and honestly, I can't keep myself away from doing it. I'm too impatient. The curse of ADHD. Which is indeed a curse, yes. It physically pains me not to continue as quick as possible looking for the next place to go. Out of gas. But we have a gas can and a rubber hose. So, in theory, if I do find a vehicle, I can steal its gas. Anyway, when you're jumping in windows... In-game, I'm more I am too. But then again, how patient are you willing to be? Yeah, it depends. The more times you play, the less patient you can become. You can always try to be patient, but then the more and more times you fail because of dumb stupidity, because there can be glitches and stuff, and then if you lose a run to that, you're gonna run back with less carefulness, die quicker, run back again, and it gets worse and worse each time you do it. And you don't want to waste the time, because you just wasted so much time, so you want to go quick to try to see if you can get it back. But it doesn't work. Then you get more and more frustrated until it's a horrible loop. So it is important to break that loop, though. Unfortunately, it is quite entertaining to do it, though. But as long as you're aware of the loop, you can destroy it. Because all you have to do is make the loop funner. The more fun you're enjoying, the more you're enjoying it, the slower the loop can become. The slower it becomes, the better it is. Why is there so many books? I'm not complaining. I'm just very excited. Because dear good. Dear good. Good is good. Whatever, I have books, because I'm in Richie McRich Pants Row. This is what happens. You know, that's actually not a bad idea. In case of an apocalypse, go to Richie McRich Pants Row. All the houses are spread out more. Everything's more private. And everybody has more stuff in general. Though, if you're gonna find somebody in Richie McRich Pants Row, you want to find somebody who is rich, but still takes the time to do stuff. That's fine. You don't need... A lot of people just join the stream just to listen to it in the background and watch. Which is it's a completely fine thing to do. I don't know what that is. Is that a Portman Medical? Oh, so like medical supplies. I see. You know, I didn't see... Sir? I wasn't done. Yeah, that guy was probably old if I had to guess. Gray hair, fell over immediately. Because he stood up. He got back up. And fell over the second I pushed him. Alright, yeah, we're gonna put all this stuff away. Speed up time to max. I'm too impatient not to. Grab all the stuff we need to... Because we need a... I'm gonna need to add stuff to that car. I need to find gas. I should stop running, too. Running is stupid. I can't waste my stupid stamina, because then I'll be... I'm already 50% gonna do... I'm gonna do 50% less damage now. Because of my impatience. Go on the ground, sorry. You are stupid. You know, I expected that... I was hoping that door would open, because that would be really funny. That would have been funnier. If I could have just opened the door immediately. What? Excuse me? I think I found a secret stash. Completely on accident. The one that you're supposed to find following a specific map. I think I just found it randomly. Anyway, I'm gonna have to favorite. I'm gonna have to favorite some of this stuff. Water bottle, the hose, all this stuff, so that I can put the rest of the stuff away in the trunk. But not the stuff I need to keep. I'm too impatient to, put it away and then take it back out. Alright. We got the plonkies. Hold on. We got plonkies. Awesome. We must close it. We cannot let any of the airborne contamination from the zomboids spread into there. I will not allow it. The Plonkies are too precious. Ooh, wine. We could use that. Because alcohol can be used in this game. For specific stuff. I think it can be used to clean wounds and stuff because of its antibacterial properties due to alcohol being not really good for bacterial life. Which is something you would want in the apocalypse. Because honestly, the more amenities you have, the better you're gonna fare. Yo. Well, I'm gonna need that. I'm gonna take all this stuff. Hold on. What's in here? What in the name of... Well, now I get to actually keep this, because unlike the other items last time, it's not cheated in every single round. I gotta drop the value tech radio, as much as I wanna bring it with me because of my loot goblin tendencies. I must take it slow. Speed up time to 2 times so I can just auto walk. I'm too lazy to do it otherwise, but yeah, now we have really good supplies? What in the name of luck are we experiencing at the moment? We have a really good vehicle, even though it doesn't have gas, doesn't matter. Ammo and weapons now, and tools, and a lot of skill books, and a decent amount of food because we're in Richie McRich Pants Row. So that's just a given. Who even has... Why would you have a closet that's empty like that? This is what happens when you give rich people stuff. Sad letter. Didn't ask, and I don't care. Read this. Read... Oh yeah, I forgot you have to grab the map before you read it, because otherwise it doesn't work. Don't go anywhere at night. Yeah, we saw those things all around the gym. Don't go to the gym. Okay, I got it.
Just More Mac just followed.
Thank you, Just More Mac, for following. I really appreciate it. So, not sure where that is. Or that. Is this all Muldraugh? No. Yeah, that may... Perhaps that's Riverside. Or somewhere else. It's weird to have a map for really far away. Because honestly, in a zomboid apocalypse, it does seem counterproductive. I'm scared. Where is... You know... yeah, no. There could be something awesome up there, and I'm not risking it, honestly. It is so dark up there. There could be anything there. There could be a unicorn, or even, I don't know, anything. Yeah, that house was ready. It was also really dark upstairs. They must have been fighting some inner demons before I got there. Because, dang. But, perhaps we can fortify this neighborhood. Because, due to zomboid logic, if you fence in, if an entire area is entirely fenced in, zomboids cannot spawn within that area. And zomboids aren't rendered if they're far enough away from you. So, if we manage to fence in an area where zomboids can't render close enough to us, so that they're not able to break any of the walls, in theory, it would be safer, because they wouldn't be able to, I don't know, break in. But that is stupid. That is a really stupid idea. Because I don't have those types of supplies, honestly. Also, it's almost 6 PM, so I gotta turn on Life and Living. No, Life and Living. Outdoor life. Basics. Fishing. I'll take it. Any skill is better than nothing. Now, if... Okay, we gotta drink some water and eat some food. We are running low, to say the least. Ham, frozen. And we'll eat the chocolate chips. Not much nutrition, but... doesn't matter. Also, cereal. Cereal is actually mostly unhealthy, because nowadays they add a lot of sugar because, well, cereal tastes bad. Nobody wants to eat raw wheat. Raw wheat inherently doesn't taste all that good because, well, it's dry. It's really, really dry, and it doesn't really have a flavor. So it's not exactly... It doesn't exactly taste great. And it's mostly just fiber. It doesn't really have much nutrients either, so it's just... They're just adding sugar to something with that already has, like, no nutrients. So they're just making it worse. Ooh, a fanny pack. Get on the ground. You don't have a backpack, which means I don't have any need for you. But you do have a... You do have an electronic watch, which I can set to what I think is the best time set it to is 5:50. Why 5:50? Because you can wake up on time for the show. But yeah, I'm gonna wait until this is too tiredness. I'm gonna try to get our character to bed at 10 PM roughly. Because then they get, like, almost 8 hours. Because I think normal characters need around 8 hours of sleep, so maybe 9? 8 or 9 PM. Because, if we get enough rest, as long as our character wakes up at the correct times, that will help us. Because if they don't, then that's gonna cause problems. Obviously. Though if a survivor does find that vehicle, if we do fail, in theory, since technically there's supposed to be other survivors, there just isn't yet, because... Okay, I don't need the cutting board and I don't need the oven mitts. Well, I don't know. We'll grab it. Sure.
Hazel_Lark11 just followed.
Thank you, Hazel_Lark11, for following. I really appreciate it. It does help me out a lot. Because I am a very small streamer. But yeah, we do need to go to bed on time and game. Go to bed too early, you wake up in the middle of midnight, and then you get tired during the day when you're trying to fight zomboids. Which is not ideal. You don't want to do it too late either. Because otherwise, then you're gonna wake up too late, or be tired really early in game, which is also dumb. So either way, you have to think about it. You have to give your character a good sleep schedule. Because unlike you, your character needs an actual good sleep schedule because they are in a zombie apocalypse. So if a zomboid apocalypse did theoretically happen, if you did manage to survive, you would need to get a good sleep schedule. Otherwise, you would probably be screwed over. So if you don't have a good sleep schedule, or you have insomnia, that's unfortunate, because you probably wouldn't survive the apocalypse. Unless you get lucky. Or you manage to force yourself to get a good schedule. Because if you do manage to do that, you might be savable. Otherwise, you're, well, screwed. Unfortunately. Because it is... You can fill gas cans with water now? Good to know, but I think I'm gonna... I really do actually need to save it, though, for... actual stuff. Because, unfortunately, it would... Oh no. I need to get to that light switch. Oh, there's a TV in here. If I can actually just watch it from in here, actually. What is this? It's almost like there's... I think there's something over there, but I don't know how to get there. Yeah. This is a false wall? Hold on a moment. No, that's the downstairs. I'm an idiot. Never mind. Don't listen to me. That would be cool, though. They should add that to a house. Honestly, it would be sick as actual heck if they added false walls to, like, I don't know, like a fancy house or something. That would be awesome. Because there is most definitely, even it doesn't matter what time period, there was always false walls in houses, especially rich houses. And there's always going to be somebody who's gonna want to do that, which is fair. I can't argue. It is pretty cool. If I was rich, I would also do that. Is this even readable? That perspective, though, it did look like it. It really did look like it. I got tricked, though. I fell for it. Forged crowbar, hold on. Can't read that, can't read that, can't read that. Nope, nope. I don't need to even read the fishing book yet. Balls you can knock down with a sledgehammer. Yeah, that's what I mean. If you needed a sledgehammer to break down a wall, and I don't know, there was like a bunch of food supplies, a fridge, a bed, like a really small area, that'd be kind of cool. But yeah, I'm not surprised. But since we are going to be reading this, doing stuff, and watching the TV at the same time, I am going to rotate the chair so that I can rest in it while reading these books here. Because, honestly, we need knowledge. which is exactly why we must raid a bookstore. We need knowledge. We're doing kind of like a, think of it like a crusade, but for knowledge instead of power or land. We're just doing a crusade for knowledge. And it's ethical because our enemies are not alive. Because they are undead. And undead are not alive. Also, there's no police to stop us anyway, so it doesn't matter. It's not like I would be able to get in trouble. Because I'm pretty sure if there was a police who still tried to, well, police people after the apocalypse. Oh! I think it's a new update thing. Maybe not. Is that a... there's graffiti, so it might be just a abandoned house. At first I was thinking it was a survivor home, but it... Sit on sofas. You have to right click underneath the object because... Yeah, this is a abandoned house. This is not a survivor home. Yeah, but you can sit on... I'm not sure if it's in the newest update or something, but... You can definitely sit now, but you have to click, like, slightly lower than the chair because everything... When you're trying to click on something, you have to click lower than you mean to click because, unfortunately, due to the Project Zomboid system, objects are closer than they appear. Because you can only interact with, well, the closest... The part that's touching the ground. Everything is out of gas. The pristine car. No gas. Why would you need gas? It's not like gas is important or anything. Anyway, I'm gonna try to rush over there. Hopefully this does not come back to bite me. Oh, that's funny. Saying it, I hope it doesn't come back to bite me really does. That's kind of a zombie apocalypse humor now that I think about it. That is kind of funny. Because, well, zombies, and they bite people. Moron, yeah, you have to push them if you want them to change their course. But yeah, you can get zomboids to change where they're going if you push them. Because they go to a location one bit at a time, kind of like Minecraft cows, where they go to the location they're looking at. Yeah, I do have very good loot. Which is exactly why I don't want to fail. Because if I did, that would be disappointing. Gas. Gas. We have a very small amount of gas. Gas is gas, though. And that means we can proceed with the plan. Unequipped. Is that too heavy? No, it's not too heavy. That's not even actually that heavy at all for a character. No problem. Glad to give some entertainment. That is the entire point of my channel. I always want to give people entertainment because why not? It's a nice thing to do. Providing free entertainment for people. And I can always give out tips to help others. I mean, honestly, I find that nice because not only do I get to play the game I enjoy, I also get to help people and entertain them at the same time, which honestly I find as a win-win. So why not? Anyway, though, we do need to refuel our vehicle now. I should stop running. Not surprised we got overheated already. So I was running. But yeah, we gotta fuel this vehicle. And also put the rest of our stuff away. And now that we actually filled it up, we can unfavorite this stuff. Because it's not as important anymore. Because before it was our #1 goal. Now it's not exactly our #1 goal, because we do indeed have our vehicle fueled. So we can continue. If only I had a proper weapon! Oh no! What shall I do? It's not like the zombies are very weak. Don't you dare get up. Nope. Absolutely not. I'm not allowing any of you to get up. Anyway, that's how you defeat a small horde of zomboids. You just hope to knock them over. If you don't, run. That's all there is to it. That's literally it. I'm not even kidding. Anyway, now that we have a screwdriver, we can now break this window without damaging ourselves super heavily, because unfortunately, son of a... Okay, screwdrivers don't count. We needed a two-handed weapon. Good to know. Luckily, we didn't get damaged. I'll take the half-mask respirator. We should put that on, though. Remove respirators, because we technically don't need... We really don't need to use that right now. I think that just lowers, infection rate or something. That is another barbecue grill. I must remove the propane. There is indeed propane in the propane paint. We need the propane because, I would love to level up my welding skill, because welding has become way more difficult. This is indeed a new playthrough. Yes. I started a new playthrough again because didn't survive the last one, which is just inevitable with Project Zomboid. But yeah, I like to play permadeath because if you play without permadeath, then it just feels different. And you can get bored of the game too quick due to the ability to just run back over and over and over until you finally finish your task. Which, honestly, it just feels too easy, in my opinion. So I like to play it a little bit more difficult, but with not with sprinters, though, because otherwise it does feel like cheating, because it just feels, running back over and over and over, it feels cheap. It defeats the purpose of, well, the once you get infected, you're infected problem, because if you can just immediately jump out the nearest window and then come back perfectly fine, it really defeats the point of the game, which was kind of the permadeathy feeling. And I just feel like it does give it a charm, because you have the feeling of having to be careful, really watching out and thinking out every single step of the way, because you can't just charge into every task like in Minecraft, where you can just keep going over and over and over until you eventually succeed. No. I'm not falling for that again. That's not a weapon. Last time I checked, duct tape was not a melee weapon. Because we need a double-handed melee weapon, I think, to break the window without damaging ourselves. Which would be great, because honestly, I don't want to risk it. Any damage is too much damage. But yeah, it definitely does have a certain charm. Because you really got that feeling of, you gotta be careful, that you just can't get with non-permadeath. Which I think that's why permadeath in this game is so popular, because the charm of the game is meant to feel more permadeathy, and playing without it, it just kind of ruins the charm that the game has. Because this is indeed build 42, yes. It's build 42.9. I'm playing on the glitchy update, yes. Still don't know how we found that stash of stuff. Yep, I was just checking a random house and we found a stash. A stash of weapons. I got really lucky and randomly found one in a house. We even had ammo and stuff in the basement. Are you even... There you are! Yeah, but this, I play on the newest update, because it gives it it definitely makes it a bit harder due to the increased jank aiming of the feet. And the newest update is definitely helping with that, because with a shotgun in this game now, if you get, if the zomboid gets like right up to you, you can hit it now. Almost, there's like a, I don't know, like a 90% chance that you will hit it with a shotgun if it's directly in front of you and you haven't sawed off the shotgun. Which does technically make it easier to do leveling up, which I think is a good thing. But yeah, as long as you can do that, you're basically fine. But yeah, it does help a bit with the problem of leveling it up, because now it actually feels more possible. Because of the fact that you can indeed hit something at least. And you don't have to completely waste all your ammo. Why is there two of the same book in the... Why? my first thought is, who needs to replace their book that often? I should stop sprinting. I really should. But yeah. Build 42 is fun, but there definitely is jank, I would say. That is how I would describe it. I have encountered some glitches. I've encountered, I think, like, probably over 6. But that was through the entire time of all the updates of Build 41 and all the different updates. Because I have been playing since, I think, the first Project Zomboid Build 42 update, maybe? Or maybe I joined a bit later, but yeah, I've been playing a lot because though it is more difficult for those playing Build 42, I'm figuring out the jank so that they can figure out what not to do and how to avoid the jank. Because if I figure out how the jank works, well, at least kind of how it works, it will help people avoid it. Even though it is somewhat detrimental to, well, an easy game. The jank does make it a bit more difficult, but it's not horrible. Depending on the glitch. There have been some worse ones, some better ones. Because if you feed animals while it's raining in the food trough, if it's raining and you immediately get rid of the water in the food trough and try to replace the water with the food that you're trying to put in instead, it did delete the food that I put in it, and it just lets you continue putting the food in it so that the food just continuously gets deleted until you realize that it's getting deleted, which it took me until the final item got deleted and I checked again. But other than that, the other glitches haven't been quite that bad. But it is. That sounded like an explosion, like a vehicle backfire. That was interesting. But yeah, it's definitely interesting, and it does have some quirks. It definitely feels unpolished as well. But I wouldn't say it's too bad. Because this time around, for their updates, I think they're trying their best to test it a bit and make sure there's not any obvious bugs. And then they're going on to the next update, making sure there's no obvious bugs, and then once they get most of the updates out, I think they'll go back and try to fix the errors and then repeat. So that I think that's what they're doing. And if that is the case, then they will probably take a break eventually. But other than that, yeah, I have been playing Build 42. And it hasn't been going horribly. I'd say if you even are curious, I think it's worth a couple games of trying out for a little bit. Because you can always just unupdate it, I guess. But in my opinion, it's worth a look. Because if you enjoy it, then you can always continue. And if you don't, you can just revert the game back. But in my opinion, for me, at least, it's pretty fun. There's been some entertaining moments. I myself never encountered the glitch for of dead cows walking around and stuff like that, but there has been some interesting glitches. Oh no, lag. It is worth a check for at least like an hour or two, because it can be fun depending on the person who's playing it. They might enjoy it, they might not, but it is definitely worth a look, because there is some pretty fun stuff you can do. And they have added ragdolls to the two newest updates. So if you hit zomboids with your vehicle, they will go flying, which is amusing. I will admit, it is decently amusing to watch. I'm gonna check the vehicle mechanics on this. See if it has any gas or something that I could, I don't know, take. No gas. Garden fork, yada yada yada. I mean, garden fork isn't that bad. The garden fork is a pretty good weapon. That I can use as for healing. I'll take agriculture, and I do. One agriculture book. I will take that. Leather gloves. Ragdoll physics look fun. Oh, they are fun. Though, sometimes they aren't. Because, anytime there is physics with vehicles, sometimes the ragdolls, since the zomboid bodies do affect vehicles, like, if you run them over and stuff, it will cause damage, and when you hit them with the front of their car due to the zomboid's hitboxes, the ragdolls do have a hitbox, which can be unfortunate. Because if the ragdoll bugs out, okay, that was a close one. Go down. Thank you. I'm alive. Scratch? How? No, we can't die from a scratch to the neck. Not again. Not again, no. We have to go with a dirty bandage. Well, that's unfortunate, because now we have a... I think it's a 5% chance of infection of getting turned into a zomboid. It may not be a high rate, but it's still a chance. And I don't like taking chances, no matter how small the chance is. Yeah, at least it's not a bite. No, it's not a bite. If it was a neck bite, I don't think I would have survived ripping that rag. Because I'm pretty sure they do more damage, but yeah. I think it's about time we hurry on out of here. In a sense. And by that I mean leave. Now. Muldraugh entirely. Just, we need gas. So what I'm gonna do is, since I can't do that yet, because I don't have the health and my character's already tired, I'm just gonna head backwards a little bit, and I'm gonna take a quick nap. Yeah, that would have been GG. I'm not sure when I got damaged, but I assume it's when... I assume it's when that zomboid came from behind and I pushed it. I'm not sure though, because that was a decent bit before and I feel like I would have had more damage from that, but honestly I'm not sure. But we'll see. I'm gonna wash all my stuff. I'm gonna take this bandage off. Where is the bandage? Where did the band-aid go? What in the name of... Why? You know, I don't think I've experienced that yet, where when you take a bandage off, the bandage just simply ceases to exist. That was almost GG again. Come on, game. Give me at least one break, please. Alright, let's tune in, yada yada yada. Close window. We got almost no experience, but... almost no experience is better than none, I guess? Agriculture. Where even is agriculture? There it is. Okay, we got 16 XP from that. That's not horrible. But yeah, that was close. And this is why you don't play... You don't fight zomboids when your character is tired or... well... hungry and thirsty. It's not worth it. Don't do that. But yeah, I might check out your Twitch. I might watch your Twitch stream when you stream it. It's always interesting to see how other people play the game. So I might pop in and watch for a bit. Anyway, though, I do... What do I got here? Got a radio. On my map, where am I? I'm here, okay. So, medical... retail... community... Okay, so the industrial stuff is just the, sheds and stuff. It's strange that there was medical building just, like, right there for some reason. Because it's kind of strange that it's in the middle of, like, the neighborhood. Yeah. I always love to support other streamers because well, me myself, I'm a pretty small streamer, so I love to support other streamers. If I ever become a big streamer, I would love to support a lot of our smaller streamers as well, because there's a lot of smaller streamers who really deserve more attention, but just don't get it because the YouTube and Twitch algorithm is pretty weird. And unfortunately, due to the way it works, is that if you don't stream or upload consistently, it won't show it as much. Because if you're posting shorts, you have to either be consistent on YouTube Shorts, be consistent on YouTube videos, or streaming. Otherwise, if you're not consistent on posting at all, or then you get almost no views. If you're consistent at posting, but you go back and forth between live streaming, live streaming, videos, and shorts, I'm pretty sure it does better than being inconsistent with all your stuff. But if you're consistent on doing something, but not consistent on one specific subject, I don't think it works quite as well. So I think usually it's just better to focus on one thing. And it seems to have been going better for me when I did that. Sharpness is max now. I mean, that's good. I guess. I'll rip the shirt. Take the sheet. Yada yada yada. Take everything worth taking. Vinegar. Whetstones do break, so I'll take multiple. Have you tried the Sophie collection? Is that a mod? Because I haven't actually heard of that. Is that some sort of Project Zomboid mod? And if so, I would like to know what it does. Because, who knows, maybe if it's, depending on what it is, maybe I could try it out. Food. Perfect. It's a mod pack collection? Interesting. What is the mod pack about? Oh, the neck scratch is already healed. And it's been full night's sleep, so yeah, we're not infected. There's a pretty high chance we're not. Because we have prone to illness, so we would have got sick quicker. Which is another reason why I took it, because I hate playing and wasting a bunch of time just to realize I was infected the whole time. Oh, this is unfortunate when I figured that out. Least errors and most support. That sounds interesting. What does the mod pack do specifically? Because usually I don't play with mod packs because of the fact that, well, obviously mod packs changed the game a bit. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, stinky. Yeah, so I'm out of gas. Come on, man. You're a normal person. You can make that jump. You're not that weak. Siphon gas, yes. Go, 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 go! Siphon that gasoline. Siphon it. Heck, yeah. Yeah, now we gotta lure them out one by one. We're gonna secure this compound. I need that gasoline. Quality of life, reels and mods, and a lot of IRL expansion content. 3 times places to visit in the world, and much more. Sounds interesting. Maybe I'll try that out sometime. The next time I die, I could try it out for a stream. Gosh darn it! This is why I hate fighting behind cars. You can't see where you're fighting. Yeah, I can't take that helmet yet. I need that helmet. But yeah, that sounds worth a look. Oh boy! This is starting to... Get me over! Listen, I know you're heavy. I know you're fat. What? Come on, man. You're not weak. It was just a scratch. It's just a scratch. We must carry on. That's really weird. Imagine putting a gasoline electric generator outside of your house so that you can power a washing machine, with that washing machine also being outside. Son of the sun, son of the sun, give me sun. Did I get bit? Oh, come on! I'm running over as many zomboids as I can, you know what? Dang you, Muldraugh! But yeah, I think I'll play that mod the next Project Zomboid stream I do. We need more momentum. I'm going out. I'm going out with Zomboid. Oh, come on! How much momentum do we need? This is like a van. Or like a truck. We must ragdoll as many zomboids as possible. This car sucks. I give up. Where's the bleach? Where's the bleach? Get me the bleach right now. Where's the bleach? There's no bleach? You've got to be kidding. Fine. It's not even bleached. It's over. It's so over. Yeah. Yeah, it was worth a shot. Yeah, for some reason, I don't get it. They should make it because instead of jumping over the fence, like vaulting over it, it's a tall fence, so your character should climb over it and you should have a higher success rate or something. Like if you're sprinting, maybe I should attempt that to jump over the fence. But then if you're going slower or crouching or something, you climb over the fence or something, because honestly, somebody of complete normal athletic ability should be able to climb over any, like a chain fence, because you can literally put your foot in there and climb over. Phil Dealer. Okay, that's actually a pretty good name. We're naming this character Phil Dealer. Yeah, we're gonna keep the we're keeping the safety glasses on. Incredible. Phil Dealer. Alright, just because I came up with that name, it was worth it. It was worth failing. Hear me out. I think Phil Dealer will succeed. That's such a great name. I have nothing else to say. That's just really funny. It's worth it though. It is worth it. I can only come up with a good name every once in a while. Creativity is not easy. Cook show! Anyway, yeah, we're back to it. We're back. We got this time. This time we won't fail. Probably. At least I hope not. I don't think we will. Hopefully not. And if we... Oh! All I have to say is, oh. I'm not saying anymore. Yeah, we're walking. Guess it's time to walk my way to freedom. That's a decent amount of zomboids, yeah. Hopefully Phil Diora does. Is that the Shrek toilet? I think that's the Shrek toilet. Huh. But yeah, I'll do my best to make Phil Dealer go and have a successful life. Phil Dealer. I think Phil Dealer has got this. God, I love that name. I need... Phil Dealer must survive. We got this, I think. Alright, a little bit of a scuffle. These zomboids got a little bit of pick. Okay. No, 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 no. Wow. That succeeded. We gotta get out of here. That's too many breaking sounds. They're on to me. It's it's Rich McGee. This is the Rich McGee Street. Richie McRich Street. We've made it. We just gotta take these suckers down. If we can, we build dealer will survive. We must do this for build dealer. If any character is going to survive, I want it to be this one. Just because of the name. The name is so good. I mean, we haven't failed yet. I just need to get rid of these two suckers, and then... Then move on to this one. Then these suckers. Then those. Dude, chill out. It's not that difficult. So far, Phil Dealer is crushing the competition beneath his off-brand shoes.
Dad's Gaming Lounge just
Thank you, Dad's Gaming Lounge, for following. I really appreciate it. Well, hello. I guess YouTube thinks it's a successful stream, because if you don't watch Zomboid, if a stream is successful with the correct audience, it then shows it to other audiences as well, to see if other audience will watch it as well. But welcome. I have failed a few runs because this is permadeath. Playing permadeath does up the stakes, which is good because otherwise it just feels a bit too easy for me. But right now we're playing with Phil Dealer. And we're in Muldraugh, which is a decently sized city, I think. It's a town, maybe. But yeah, there's a decent population here, so decent amount of zomboids. But also there's a good amount of loot to be earned here too. But yeah. I didn't have as good names for the other characters, so I want to keep Phil Dealer alive, because honestly I think that name is hilarious. Because every time I make a new character, I always want to name them something different. This time I thought of a funny one, so we're going with Phil Dealer. Darn generators are never connected. Mechanics books? I'll take mechanics books. And a screwdriver, I mean, I can take that too. Alright, there's another zomboid. Just gotta deal with that one. That's strange, I thought I heard banging. Maybe it's from upstairs? No. That was dumb of me. Okay, so maybe it was from upstairs. There is indeed a zomboid up here. Though that's strange, because there's nothing broken. Anyway, I am playing on a new update called Build 42, which, if you didn't know, is an experimental update, because they are rebuilding the game's code to be more efficient, and also making it a bit easier for multiplayer servers to, well, make it more fair for every player, because before they had to make it so loot regenerated in the same locations, which was unrealistic. But it's pretty good, though it's unpolished, I would say. There are some glitches, but so far it is pretty good. Because they're overhauling the crafting system, because it wasn't very good for multiplayer servers, because a lot of items you had to get from respawn points, but the problem is people with more loot could easily get it and raid those locations, so they made it so that now you can craft stuff so that on multiplayer servers you will be able to get stuff. And eventually I heard they're gonna even add NPCs, which is going to be exciting, though it will most definitely cause some problems, because from what I am gonna guess is going to happen is there's gonna be somebody who tries to save an NPC. The NPC acts dumb, kind of like a Minecraft villager, and somehow they end up dying, is what I'm gonna guess. There's loot respawn in multiplayer servers. There are in some multiplayer servers, because if loot didn't respawn on shelves, the problem is zomboids only spawn with a certain amount of certain loot. So a lot of things you can't get, like you can't get a generator to power your house, which then makes it so you have to forage for food and kind of cook things in a campfire. So you can't really, so some players just wouldn't be able to progress at all, while the people who got the supplies first would, on the server, basically run the server, because nobody else would be able to get those supplies. So they're making it so that you can get more supplies from zomboids, and eventually you're going to be able to craft stuff from scratch, which is supposedly going to allow people to be able to supposedly craft most things that are quite important for progressing in the game. Yeah, it is. You do kind of do that, which on servers the problem is in multiplayer you do definitely run out of resources, which is the problem, because there's always going to be a player with a lot of armor and weapons that are going to be able to charge in, take everything they need. They're going to loot everything and take it back to the base, and sometimes there's teams of players who go together, so all the good loot at the good loot locations are usually taken. So the problem with that is that usually there's just not enough loot to go around, which is why they're going to be trying to fix that. No, I didn't mean to break it with my shoulder, but we didn't get damaged. But yeah, even in multiplayer, that does become a problem over time, because even with the respawn mechanics, everybody's just gonna be fighting for resources, which doesn't exactly go super well, especially if you're a new player, which makes it really hard to balance everything on the server, because you want the people who are putting in the most time and effort to be able to still get stuff. because they are putting in the most time and effort on the server. But you also want new players to be able to still get supplies, because otherwise it would just be unfair, which does make it difficult for balancing. So hopefully the new update will fix that, though it would be quite difficult, and eventually it might be fixed, but it would, either way, it would only take a long time no matter what, because you'd have to see what changes affect what, and then respond to that over and over and over until hopefully it's as good as it can get. But even then, it's not always going to be perfect. It has gas, but I can't siphon it because I don't have a hose. Perhaps I could just check the trunk of all the cars. Rubber hose. Well, well, well. How nice. We can get some gasoline now. We can use that gasoline to power our car when we find one that actually has the keys to it. Because for some reason in this game, every single time you find a vehicle, it's either severely damaged and it doesn't have gas, or it doesn't have gas and it doesn't have a key, but it isn't damaged. It's usually almost always one of those things. Because in this game, you don't get the privilege to get a fresh car usually, unless you're lucky enough. They used to have a luck trait that gave you better loot, but they removed it, which does make sense, because theoretically, if you think about it, that definitely would cause problems with the way things are generated, especially on multiplayer servers, where it would probably become obsolete due to the fact that when one person checks in and sees something different than the other, that's going to cause some problems. Alright, I gotta drop that. I need to put the gasoline in. Can't fit the gasoline in. Well, guess I'll have to put this in one by one. Alright. There we go. We have gasoline now. Now I just need to acquire a vehicle. Because once we find if we can find a working vehicle, we will be able to get out of here to hopefully a less populated location, and then Phil Dealer will be free and happy until something bad happens, which in Ensemble it inevitably does, but still. I would love to see how far we can get with Phil Dealer. Phil Dealer, I believe, is the chosen one. At least in my heart, he is. I must get as far with him as I can. The name is just too funny. I have like an attachment to the name now. I can't give it up. You can't make me. It's too funny. I find it absolutely hilarious. May not be the funniest, but I mean, I find it hilarious. The character is literally named Phil Dealer. Which for YouTube, that definitely doesn't have a double meaning. Don't look into it, YouTube. It's not, I'm not saying something else. There's more vehicles down here. What in the name of all that is holy is that? That is the weirdest looking home I think I've ever seen. The way it's designed is horrendous. And in my opinion, it should not exist. Alright, let me in. Come on. You got this, Phil. Come on. You were trained in the ways of the dealer. Okay, we just need to hopefully get a key. This is in the house of the vehicle, so theoretically if we were... Thought I heard a sound, but I guess I didn't. But if we were to find a vehicle, well, key? No key. Well, life and living. I'll take exposure to survival. Any XP is good XP. That looks like a decent vehicle. Does it have a key? Oh, that's a jack. It's pretty good. I just need a key? Come on, give me a key. Ah. Good enough. Just drop the gas can. Just gotta find a way in. Back door work? Back window? If I can worm over to the back window and through. Get him out one at a time. Kind of like that. They appear to have been playing D&D before the apocalypse hit their vehicle. Not what the frick am I talking about? What vehicle? I mean their location. What vehicle? Well, the vehicle there is a vehicle in the front, but no, I wasn't talking about that vehicle. My brain auto-defaulted to the thing I last remember thinking about. which was a vehicle. Because that vehicle in the front is a vehicle I want. So I kind of was thinking about that. Weirdly enough. Dang, that looks awesome. They were doing some fun stuff. Rest in peace to them. I'll take a chrome toaster. It's a completely fresh, brand new toaster. Yep, this is the vehicle, alright. This is our vehicle. Yeah, well, why not? We honestly had to do something. You gotta pass the time somehow. If you're waiting in Project Zomboid, it's better to do something, like literally anything, rather than nothing. Doing nothing wastes so much potential time you can use. Because if you don't use... Yeah, it's also about time management, and not just about survival and stuff, because if you don't manage your time, then you might waste so much time, and you're gonna be hungry and thirsty, and now you don't have food and water because you waited so long just to do one specific thing that you were waiting for, that now you can't survive. So you also have to manage your time as well, on top of everything else. Which does get a bit complicated at times. But if you do manage to handle all of it, then you're pretty much set. Give me that. That's a electronic item, and I need that. I'll take the alarm clock. Could use that in the books and other electronic item. But yeah, they were playing. They were literally playing D&D before they felt the infection. Wait. Big vehicle that's 2 tiles wide. How did they get the vehicle in here? How am I gonna get the vehicle out? Wait, I didn't think about this. Wait, no. No, wait. What? That's a shed in the back. We must get to the back of the First Baptist Chapel. We need a hammer. Because we need to tear down the fences. Because once the fences are torn down, perhaps we will be able to get the vehicle out and get out of here.
Hey.
Oh, for the love of... You have a hammer on you? Unlucky. Time to simply run away! Yeah, but yeah, we do have to be careful about time management, because you have to have your Zomboid character, you gotta get them to go to sleep at the correct time, otherwise they wake up either tired or you get too much rest, and now suddenly you've overslept and it's too late. What in God's name is happening over here? What? Yeah, that's not supposed to look like that. Yeah, but yeah. in this game, you really gotta... You can just disregard the zomboids from time to time. Some tasks, even if there's a zomboid nearby, you just have to... You just really should deal with. Sometimes you just have to read a book while a horde of zomboids is breaking down the nearest door. Sometimes that's just something that happens. And sometimes the zomboids are the one waiting while you break down the nearest door. Certainly as a game. Well, that's one way to do it too, yeah. Alright, knock her down. Knock her down. Do you even have the... I wonder if she has the key on her. No, she literally has nothing on her. And that includes clothes. That guy's not fake dead, he's dead dead. Okay, we're too tired and exhausted for this. I just gotta clear this house out and take a nap. Wait, was that a book? It's a picture book. Hammer! It's a hammer. Hold on. We found a hammer. So as long as we get some rest now, and I do mean now, as in right now, we wake up in time, watch the show, we can break the fence, and get Phil Dealer out. We must get Phil Dealer out into a remote location. He is too important. This is our mission. Let's clean up while we're at it, because this does improve happiness. Oh, so that's why the... Yeah. Well, that would explain that. Well, since you're watching on YouTube sometimes you just it joins you like a couple minutes behind for some reason. It just kind of does that. Sometimes it lags behind. And it does that automatically. YouTube isn't exactly the most optimized site, I would say. But yeah. That does happen from time to time. Anyway, I'm going to change this to life and living, yada yada yada, blah blah blah. Don't care, didn't ask. And we're gonna wait here for the life and living show to pop on. Skills. Cooking. Cooking is level 2, so we can read a level 2 cooking book now. Technically. I don't care about in-game politics. There's a zomboid apocalypse. There's literally a zombie apocalypse going on. Now isn't the time. Politics is not needed at the moment. Water typically goes off in game. I think it's usually like 20-something days in game when the water goes off. It's usually like a couple days before. Yeah, well, I don't like politics because honestly, it's just people arguing about their views on the world, but the problem is everybody's gonna have different views on the world, and it's always gonna be that way. You can't just convince somebody to change their views. And honestly, if somebody's already disagreeing with them, they're already gonna be angry. Yeah, well, if you think about it, nobody's maintaining the power grid or running the power plants in-game. Nor are they running the water plants and stuff, so... nobody's exactly maintaining anything in-game. Which is why water shuts off so quick. For water and food, you can make rain barrels. You can construct rain barrels, which rain does have contaminated water that isn't exactly good to drink because it's, well, dirty. So if you put it above a sink, like 1 floor above a sink, what you can do is you can plumb it using a plumbing wrench if it's exactly directly above a sink. And once you plumb it, it filters the water that gets plumbed. For some reason, the water is automatically plumbed and cleaned when it gets plumbed. Not sure why. But it is. But yeah, for water you can do that. Or you can just boil the water. If you leave pots and pans out too, you can also get water from... You can also manage to get some water from, well... from the sky. Yeah, no, I'm not sure why it doesn't need you to construct it, but it just kind of automatically filters it. Maybe that's something they're gonna add. But you can also boil the water to clean it. Because that's another option to clean the water. Is just, well, boil the water. So you can, as long as it's cooked, it will, once it gets to a certain temperature, it will just automatically no longer be dirty. Or considered, quote-unquote, tainted. Yeah, the learning curve is tough. I will give it that. Because there's a lot of mechanics in the game that you just have to learn yourself, because in the tutorial, the problem is, it only shows you the basics of movement and how to do stuff, but it doesn't exactly show you how to do the other stuff. The game itself is fine. It's more of the fact that it's difficult to figure out how to do the stuff, but once you learn how to do it, it's not quite that hard, and it's a fun game. At least once you figure out how to do it. But yeah, if you didn't know how to play, it would be pretty tough. I just gotta find a hacksaw now. For the love! Oh, that is... Why have I been forsaken by the gods? Oh, man. Yeah. I do agree. Oh, no. Let me in, let me in, let me in! Wait, what? Spamming the door actually let me in? That's not supposed to happen. Standard magazine. I can repair standard cars now. Which is the most common car. I got a key for a car that they don't even have in their driveway. Why? This game is really weird though sometimes. Sometimes you can get a key for a vehicle that isn't nearby. Which is really weird because the key goes to something completely different. And honestly, I find that really dumb. Because sometimes the key to the car is just completely somewhere else. Yes, I'm sneaking so well that I level up, that makes sense. The sneaking here is totally worthy of a level up. I'm right here. Don't get distracted. Yeah. Yeah, the hitboxes are also weird, and you have to really be careful. Because if you go too early, you'll be screwed, but sometimes you need the zomboid to actually be closer before you can actually shove them or manage to actually hit them. Which is frustrating, because it can be really annoying at times. Because sometimes it just doesn't make any sense. Oh, that's the shed I couldn't get into. Oh, memories. Yeah, they did. That is how it seems. They also got rid of their sledgehammers. Apocalypse mode, like, I like the zomboid features and stuff and how it makes it harder and stuff, but the loot, like, I wanted Apocalypse mode because I wanted it to be difficult, but I wanted it to be difficult because it was realistic. Not difficult because everybody got rid of all their stuff, and even in regular mode it doesn't even make that much sense. Because, honestly, the loot is a little bit low, but the reason because of that is because if there's too much loot, then you won't really have to do much exploring and stuff, because you'll just be able to have all the items right off the bat. Which would obviously make the game too easy. Because it's so easy. But yeah, it's supposed to make it more difficult, which it does, but not in a way that it should, not in the way that it should, because the problem is they make the way they get rid of stuff isn't the correct way that they should. And honestly, the loot should be a bit different, but yeah, it's kind of annoying that the way that they decided to handle making loot rarer for when you increase the difficulty. I think they handled it a bit strange. Yes, it is in Kentucky. But yeah, they definitely would have a lot more tools, like hammers, nails, wood, they would have a lot more of. There would probably be a lot more, like, drills and stuff. And a lot more hand tools than what there are in the game. Oh no! I don't want to deal with that. Wait, what? How did I end up over here? Wait, is this the area I escaped from earlier? Dang it, why did I go back? Oh man, I escaped from here just to go right back. Yeah, well that would make a lot of sense. I guess the game just assumed it's too much sense. And like how did they get that car there? What? What? Okay, yeah. Yeah, it's over. Yay. But yeah, they should have made it difficult in a different way. It's another way they made it more difficult is they replaced skill books with regular books in the bookstore, but it's so dumb that a bookstore only has like 3 books on a shelf, and they don't have like a bunch of shelves that are specifically meant for, I don't know, skill books and stuff. Like they should have it organized in the shelves and stuff. But they don't. There's a lot of things that don't make sense, but the problem is the reason that it's not being fixed yet is because the developers are working on a different thing. Well, that's disappointing. Alright, we're gonna name the character Alan Theory. Not as good as Pill Dealer, but unfortunately, the way the run was going, well, it wasn't, unfortunately. Unfortunately, that was not destined to be. That run was not destined to be. Because the only vehicle we got, even though we checked like 70 vehicles, was one single vehicle with a key. That was locked in a location that isn't even possible to get it in. Because, of course. Yeah, but the luck in this game is a bit... eh. Because I understand that it's supposed to be difficult, but they go the wrong way about making the game difficult, is... And it's really annoying because... you could be doing really well, but then you could just be stuck in a situation that's so stupid, that doesn't make any logical sense. Like, how I needed to get out of that location, but there was just no... There was just no vehicle I could take, which was dumb. Because I checked, like, I don't know, a decent amount of vehicles. And not one of them had a key that I could take. And all the vehicles are, like, broken down, which I guess makes sense because, well, the zomboids would break most of the vehicles. But still, I find it a bit too punishing with the loot. Because sometimes it's just stupid how the loot is handled. It's really infuriating. Because, like, some people have no food, like, which I guess that would make sense if everybody was leaving. But I mean, there's some things that, like, if you were going somewhere, why didn't you take your weapons with you? And stuff like that, where, like, yeah, it's a good thing that they forgot their weapons or something, or they were outside and managed to get caught, but the fact that it doesn't happen more, I think, is annoying. Is this a survivor home? Let me in. No, it's just a graffitied place. No! It's not a real... I thought that was a survivor home. Of course the shed wouldn't even have anything either. But yeah. Honestly, this run isn't looking good either. You know, next time I might spawn into, like, Riverside or something. Because, honestly, there's, like, no loot. And that just makes the game so slow. Because it's dumb to check, like, 17 houses and not find one hammer. Because that just doesn't make sense. Especially if you're checking, like, 10 garages and none of them have a hammer. Like, yeah, it makes the game more difficult, but in a tedious way. Like, yeah, I want it to be difficult, but I don't want to spend 10 hours looking for a single hammer. And not even, you know, like, not even a regular, not even like a sledgehammer, just a regular hammer sometimes can take forever. Key? Any keys? No. Because of course the car parked here wouldn't have a key. Key? No gas. Well, if I could somehow find a gas can in a... Son of a... Ugh, yeah, no. I doubt this is gonna go well. Well, let's just check the storage place. Why? There's no loot. I guess because... Oh. Yeah, but this is totally stuff that people would put away. I just don't get it sometimes. It's really dumb. There's so little in a store. It's a little storage facility, and yet each crate has so little. Why? Why is the game like this? Because it's not even fun. It's just tedious. Like, I just want to go. Like, I spent 5 hours looking for a dang single item. and I didn't find it. Who has a beanie insect repellent, a sleeping bag, and a hiking book, but not a hiking backpack? That's the stuff I don't understand. Like, it would make sense if, like, I don't know, the key was in here for the other place. No. Because, of course, the person with the key totally would bring the key with them everywhere they go. That makes sense. Well, thank you for watching. Perhaps next stream will go better. We could even try a different map or something. Also, I don't just stream Project Zomboid. Project Zomboid is the main thing I stream though. But yeah, I do stream other things sometimes. I'm gonna have to sit down. We are too tired. No. How did that work? No, yeah. Not surprised. Well, it was a good try, but perhaps we'll try somewhere else other than Muldraugh next time. It was nice to... I mean, I got some new experience and figured some stuff out, but yeah. I don't think that's the place for me to spawn. But thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy and you're on YouTube, you can like and subscribe, and if you're on Twitch, you can follow me. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream, but once again, thank you guys all so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and goodbye, all you cheese wheels.